You're watching The Buck Stops Here and I'm Barkha Dutt. On the program today, the big story. The Indian media finds itself on trial. That's the phrase that was used by leader of the opposition Arun Jaitley after the high-profile editor-in-chief of Tehelka, Tarun Tejpal, actually stepped down in response to charges of sexual assault from a young colleague, a young employee at the organization, a 22-year-old girl who has, in a sense, touched a national chord with her very, very disturbing allegations of sexual abuse. The magazine and the organization has also come under fierce criticism for its initial reactions, saying that this was an internal matter and that the journalist in question had only asked for an internal probe, so action had been taken. Strong reactions are coming in from media organizations and also, of course, from citizens across the country. The Editors Guild, for one, has said the self-proclaimed atonement cannot be the remedy to sexual assault, that the charges are far too serious, and that whether the journalist at the heart of the storm complains or not, whether she goes to the police or not, the criminal justice system must step into motion. Arun Jaitley has gone a step further by saying that the allegations made by this journalist actually make the point that the allegation is of rape, and he's saying that the Indian media is now on trial. How will Tehelka respond, and what does this say about women at work in India and the stranglehold of harassment? That's coming up on The Buck Stops Here today.
The aggrieved party sent me a complaint. She wanted some internal action to be taken. That internal action was taken. I understand all of you want more out of it. To my understanding, till these letters were leaked, it was an internal matter by her own desire. Surely, if you all are feeling more aggrieved than the journalist herself, I cannot answer that.
All right, also on The Buck Stops Here today, these images that you're going to see on your screen in just a moment, these are images of riots accused of the BJP actually being felicitated at a rally minutes before or a short while before the BJP's prime ministerial candidate Narendra Modi was to speak from that same platform. These are MLAs who were accused of being complicit in the riots of Muzaffarnagar in Uttar Pradesh recently. And not too far from the BJP rally was a rally of Mulayam Singh Yadav, where he shared the stage with controversial cleric Tauqir Raza, who has also been accused of not just fatwa politics but also of engineering riots or being part of riots in 2010 when Mayawati was in power in UP. On the program today, we'll be looking at whether riot politics are now the truth of 2014. But before that, Rahul Srivastav brings you this report on rally versus rally, riot versus riot, and why these people are guests of honor at any rally from Agra.
Narendra Modi ducked two controversies at his Agra show of strength. These two BJP leaders accused in Muzaffarnagar riots, charged for inciting communal hatred, were felicitated by his party. But they were whisked off the stage before Narendra Modi arrived. As Modi doesn't want a visible communal colour to his campaign. But the felicitation is sign that he is not averse to the BJP actively exploiting communal polarization. Still, he called his opponents as divisive.
वोट बैंक की राजनीति की स्पर्धा में कभी सपा आगे, कभी बसपा आगे, कभी कांग्रेस कोशिश करती है, लेकिन इस कांग्रेस के पाप का परिणाम है कि सपा और बसपा जैसे लोग पैदा हुए।
सर कुछ बातचीत आपके ऊपर टेपिंग के मामले में सर जो आरोप लग रहा है उस पर कुछ कहना चाहेंगे सर आप? टेपिंग के बारे में सर।
Then he and his confidant Amit Shah and the BJP remained silent on the raging stalking controversy, barring this indirect defense by the party president.
जितने ही आरोप कांग्रेस सरकार लगाएगी, मैं बताना चाहता हूं, उतना ही सशक्त होकर नरेंद्र भाई इस हिंदुस्तान में खड़े होंगे।
The highlight of Narendra Modi's Agra rally perhaps was not what he did or said, but how he avoided political temptations. Lord Krishna formed the backdrop at the stage, but there was no mention of the Krishna Janmabhoomi dispute. There were no political barbs at the opponents, Khuni Panja, no Madam, no Shehzada, and no Nikammi Sarkar. He even refused to become a party to the felicitation of BJP leaders accused in the Muzaffarnagar riots. This perhaps is the first clear indication in the last 3 months of campaigning that Narendra Modi is going to stick to his development card while his party will not ignore the old emotive appeals.
It was the politics of riots that defined the tenor of both these rallies in the communally sensitive western Uttar Pradesh. If the BJP paraded its latest saffron mascots, riot-accused MLAs Sangeet Som and Suresh Rana at Modi's rally, the Samajwadi Party played the minority card and allowed tainted cleric Maulana Toki Raza Khan to take centre stage with Mulayam and Akhilesh at their rally in Bareilly.
Mulayam Singh Yadav publicly embracing Toki Raza Khan, matching the BJP's right-accused MLAs with his own. Recently given the status of a minister in the government, Raza returned the respect with a pitch to Muslims to make Maulana Mulayam the next Prime Minister.
मैंने महसूस किया है कि प्रधानमंत्री बनना मुलायम सिंह को इसलिए जरूरी है ताकि हिंदुस्तान में सेकुलरिज्म का परचम हमेशा बुलंद रहे। फिरका परस्तों के हाथों में हमारा मुल्क किसी भी कीमत पर नहीं जाना चाहिए। तो हम पर आरोप लगता है कि ये मुसलमानों की तरफदारी लेते हैं। मैं तरफदारी नहीं लेता हूं, मैं मुसलमानों को न्याय देता हूं। अन्याय हो रहा था, उस अन्याय को रोका है।
Clearly, it's election season, and for political parties, it's votes at any cost. With Anand Zanane in Bareilly, Rahul Srivastava in Agra for NDTV.
So the one thing that was common about both those rallies, actually by political opponents, was the fact that at both rallies on the stage prominently were men who have been accused of being complicit in riots. What does it say about our polity in the election campaign of 2014 that riots accused are actually guests of honor on such major platforms as the BJP and the Samajwadi Party? Let's take you now straight to our political punch tonight. On the panel this evening on the buck stops here from the Congress senior leader Abhishek Singhvi, from the BJP senior leader Chandan Mitra, and joining us from Lucknow today, somebody who is an advisor to the Samajwadi Party government, Madhukar Jetli. Let me start with you, Chandan Mitra. I remember you were on a program of mine in the aftermath of the Muzaffarnagar riots, and when I asked you about the BJP legislators who had been accused of inciting riots, who had been found guilty of hate speeches, among other allegations and charges, you said that the party would not make space for such legislators, that the law would take its own course. They are out on bail. The charges have not been dropped, other than the National Security Act having been revoked. This was Narendra Modi's rally. What is the BJP up to? Is it scoring a gigantic self-goal, or is it just trying to polarize politics further?
I'm sorry, Barkha, I don't understand what the hullabaloo is about. They have not been convicted. I stand by what I have said, that the law must take its course and let the courts decide whether they are truly guilty of the cases that are lodged against them, of inciting communal violence and so on and so forth. But as of now, the court has granted them bail. They are sitting MLAs of the party, and also, see, they are the NSA charge against them has been dropped. It could not be sustained. The state board of a government run by the Samajwadi Party, which leaves no stone unturned to kind of court the Muslim vote bank, so to speak, that board has said the NSA was wrongly imposed. So under the circumstances,
NSA has been revoked. NSA has been revoked, but not the other charges, Chandan. Not the charges of hate speech, not the charges of inciting riots. The pictures that are playing tell their own. Chandan, are you saying that till they are found guilty, it's business as usual?
No, they are sitting MLAs. How can you stop them from attending rallies or addressing people in different places? And they were not felicitated. They were guests from outside Agra. So it is a tradition in all parties, including ours, that when somebody comes from outside, you naturally kind of greet them with some affection. They have not been proven guilty, and I don't see any reason why the BJP must be targeted for this blame, which is a game that has been being played by the Congress party, and today your report itself talks about Tauqir Rana and Mulayam Singh Yadav.
Yeah, I'm going to come to Tauqir Raza. I'm going to come to the Tauqir Raza case in just a moment. But Abhishek Singhvi, as a lawyer, do you accept Chandan's argument that you're innocent until proven guilty? So why the halabaloo over these BJP legislators?
Barkha, this is getting curiouser and curiouser. So first point, Barkha, Mr. Chavan, never convicted for anything, should not have stepped down as Chief Minister of Mumbai, and also a week thereafter, we should have felicitated him or endorsed him at a public function. Mr. Natwar Singh was never convicted, but the whole of the BJP was just shouting in the air for having the External Affairs Minister down. And now you are applying standards. Of course, that's the second point. The BJP is known for decades, and I can give you 1,000 examples like that. Mr. Manmohan Singh, who should resign, is the refrain every day in Parliament. Parliament is obstructed. Why? Because he is not convicted, he should resign. He should own moral responsibility. He was the coal minister without any details. Now, second point, Barkha, BJP is a known party of preaching without practice, and they've done it again and shown their true face. Thirdly, Barkha, Agra is the intersection of many interesting symptoms. There was here actually, there may have been a technical time gap, but these people were celebrated, felicitated with huge amount shown on your camera of shouting and naras and garlands just minutes or a short while before Mr. Narendra Modi came. So it was really a function of Mr. Narendra Modi for Mr. Narendra Modi, which also provided them a platform. Everybody knows the subtext. Only the subtext is half a second, Barkha. The subtext is Amit Shah is sent for Ayodhya divisiveness. Narendra Modi doesn't want to say it himself, but he's the most divisive figure. And you have these people who still stand accused of not ordinary charges. 153 communal conflagration has 7 years punishment. They're all there. You are on bail legally, no problem. That doesn't mean that you have to be endorsed, you have to be lionized, you have to be projected. And lastly, Barkha, this is also the same duo who keeps very quiet, about the allegations of a very special definition of protection to a lady in Gujarat, also of the same dais, which they call protection and which has no parallel in snooping.
Okay.